chat, a lot of stuff's happened. I'll talk about the balance stuff in a minute, but I want to talk about other stuff first. For starters, I made a horrible mistake yesterday. A horrible mistake. I made the absolutely awful, dreadful mistake of going outside. And the one day I go outside, my windshield cracked. And I'm not talking a little one. I'm talking this one across from the back bottom left-hand corner. Shut up!
We love you.
From the bottom left-hand,
your best content.
in the bottom left-hand corner of the windshield, it went up about 3 inches or 4 inches, and then goes across the entire windshield, going up and down in zigzags until about 3/4 of the way across. So it's about halfway in between my second wiper blade and the edge. It comes back down. I'm not joking. It's like this big, and that's not including the ripples. It's fucking huge. And I don't even know what I did. I have a theory. I think it's a heat crack. So basically, my truck has an auto starter, right? So you like click the lock button, then you hold this like, okay. Basically what you do is you click the lock button, click this button, and then you hold this button for 8 seconds. And then when you hold it for 8 seconds, post it on Twitter. I decided not to post it because I'm in a parking lot, and it's like, there's like qualities that probably people can pick up on and figure out where I live, and I'd rather not do that. I basically started it, and the way the starter works is, that it basically, the truck figures out, is it hot or is it cold? And there's 2 ways you can do it. So like, if you like start it and then you hold the lock button after, like it makes it so all the windows come down. But if you don't do that, it basically just checks the temperature of the outside, and then it will make it a judgment. Does it need to have the AC on, or should it have the heat on or the defroster on? And so because it was cold, it was really cold, the truck makes the assumption that the defroster should be on, which is true. It's actually really smart. It's very ingenious, or whatever the word is, because the last time I drove it, I actually didn't have the defroster on. In cabin was like 64 degrees, so in no way I had the heat on. So it made the assessment that it needs to, you know, put on the defroster, which is fine. So I left it on for like 15 minutes, and I forgot to go out because I was doing something else at home inside. So I started it again before I left for like 5 minutes. Now this is all in the span of about 45 minutes. So like I left it on for 15 minutes, then it turned off for maybe like 10-ish, and then I turned it back on for like another 5 to 10 before I went outside and actually got in it. And I didn't notice anything, and so I went threw my trash out, whatever, and then I had to go do some things. But I went to Panera first, just grab a drink in the morning, and I was sitting in the, what's it called? I was sitting in the drive-thru, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like leaning in. And I couldn't tell because like the reflection from the sun. And I was like, is that like a scratch? Is that dirt? I was like, what the fuck? So I wiped at it, and I was like, that's weird. And then I looked like to the other side, and I saw another one. I was like, and so when I pulled out of the sun, like the glaring area I was in, I just see the whole thing is connected. It's like big piece, very thin piece all the way across the middle with like jaggeds, and then another big piece on the end. And I was like, wait a minute. So I got out, and I was trying to feel for it, and I felt nothing. So I took my fingernail, and I very carefully dragged it over it to feel like if it was a crack, and it was a crack. So my fingernail went into it, but it was on the outside, and I was like, wouldn't a heat crack be on the inside? I guess it technically doesn't matter, but I don't know. I've never had a windshield crack like that before.
Danny from Honda is listening. Mute your phone. Smile.
I was really what the f. So now I need to get that replaced at some point. I probably gotta call like Safe Light or some. Do you have comprehensive insurance? They'll probably replace it for free. I'll probably actually.
All I want for Christmas is nerds.
That's probably what I'll do tomorrow. I might start streaming late tomorrow, and try to get that stuff done, because I was gonna do it today, but then I saw that Winter Wonderland thing, and then I saw the patch note possibility, or not patch notes, like the talk of patch notes on Twitter, And I was like, oh, f it, dude. Like, I guess I'll hop on to talk about all that stuff. But point is, though, yeah. So basically, it wasn't a good day yesterday. So then I went to my PO box, and dude, dude,
yeah.
I don't even know why the f I go outside. I go to the PO box, and I park. And I parallel park with the building. There's about 8 inches in front of me, and 6 inches behind me on this parking spot. You know, like there's like little markers for the parallel park. And I get out, and this guy that was behind me, who was like getting into his truck when I parked, he goes, "That's gotta be the worst parallel parking job I ever seen." I was like, "Excuse you?" I'm 3 inches from I'm like 2 to 3 inches from the sidewalk, 6 inches behind me, and 8 inches in front of me. And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "You left me no room to get out." And I literally pointed at the ground. I go, "There's like 6 inches between me and the back of this spot. That's a you problem. You parked too far up." And this guy he just grumbles and is like, "You don't know what you're doing," and like gets in and like shuts his door. And so I don't know if he could still hear me, but I was like, "Do you need help getting out? I can guide you out." And I don't think he liked that very much, because he just fucking stared at me, and then he backed up, did like a 14-point turn, even though he had plenty of room behind him, and then just left. So then I go inside, I get my packages, and it's some stuff for the PO box. It's in the other room. There's like 3 packages in a small like card package. So I'm carrying them out like this, and I see this little old lady walking up the fucking stairs, like walking up the stairs of the fucking post office. So I stand there and I wait for her. Takes her like 45 seconds. I'm like, whatever, it's not a big deal. So she walks by and she's like, "Oh, thank you, sir." I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." So she walks by, and then right as she gets to the door, I turn to start walking, and there's some lady coming up the fucking stairs, but I'd already let go. Like, I don't have hands. I was just standing there using like my shoulders. And this lady gives me the dirtiest look, because I didn't stand there and wait for her to come up and open the door, like hold the door. I was like, "Dude, what? I'm not the fucking doorman, bro. I did it for a little old lady. You're like 42. Yeah, it's not hard, dude. It's not a tough door. Like, what's wrong with you?" And then as I walk by her down the stairs, she makes like this fucking like half sneeze, half snicker, fucking whatever. Dude, I almost turned around. I wanted to trip her, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to turn around. And be like, "F you." I was like, "What's wrong with you?" Like, dude, it's like 7 stairs and a door. It's really not that tough. So anyways, I go down, I fucking put everything in my truck, and I go to drive off, and the guy in front of me is inside my parallel spot. Like, you know how I left 8 inches in front of me? This dude had like 3, and he was like 4 inches into my spot. I'm like, okay, now that's not knowing how to park, dude. So I backed up like a little bit, and then I pulled off. Whatever. Drive home. Not even fucking done. I get home, order groceries. Done for the day. Done. I'm not going outside no more. Done. Done for today. So I get groceries delivered, and my apartment is like, there's like a small connector mudroom type lobby thing between the outside and the inside. There's like, you know, mailboxes and stuff out there. So I always leave on the instructions, you know, like I'll leave them in the lobby. So this guy delivers it and he says, "Hey, you know, package or groceries are left." I'm like, "Oh, thank you so much." And I go up and I open the door. Nothing. There's nothing in the lobby. I go, "Oh, fuck." I'm like, it's either at someone else's house or it's outside. I pull this, like, there's like a mailbox, like you know, like those post office boxes. It's like one of those for like mail that, you know, nobody wants or gets delivered to the wrong person. So I put it in front of the door so it doesn't close and lock. And I go outside. And this is literally me. I go to open the door and go, poof. I'm like, I couldn't open the door. And I go, there ain't no way. So I get on my tippy toes and I look down, and it's my groceries. They're jammed against the door. The door, there's only one door, and it opens outwards. And he jammed them against the door. There's a second door, right? But it's one of those doors where you have to open the first one and then reach up, pull the click thing, and then push it out. But I couldn't open the door enough to do that. So I had to push the door open enough to get that. But it didn't matter. I just heard the of the paper bags ripping. I literally had to literally put every item in the lobby and then carry them down by like 3s because this dude couldn't put the bags inside the lobby or at least not jam the door with them. Dude, I've never been so mad at a day in my whole life. I really haven't. Then I had some other bullshit that I really can't talk about, but it's like, dude, yesterday was probably one of the most annoying day offs I've ever had. I'm not taking days off anymore. My stream days, dude, honestly, my stream days, even playing Overwatch are better than that shit. I don't know what it is. Push him to open the door? Like, no, like, I'm not even joking. Like, there was a gallon of milk. This thing was legitimately pressed into the, like, the corner. So, like, the hinge couldn't even open. Then to wrap it all up, the last thing. Basically, I tried to go to a Micro Center yesterday. I wanted to look for a 4090, and I also wanted to look to change my motherboard from AMD's to Intel and see if they had the new Intel chips.
20 months.
So I called them, nothing. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll use their text service. They have a text service, you text them, and then they get back to you with like whatever question you asked, like, you know, within like an hour or two. So I texted them, nothing. I got no answer. So I did the live chat thing. Live chat, no answer. So basically waited the whole day trying to see if I could get a response to see if they had any of the 4090s / the new Intel chips before I drive the like hour or so to get there, and then the hour and a half home because of fucking Boston traffic. And yeah, I didn't get that done. So I only got like half the shit I wanted to get done yesterday, so I'm kind of pissed. Kind of wasted my day off.